Okay, so you see this train track we're just going over? Going to see a property or show you a property that just sold at the tax deed sale that is actually right next to those train tracks. So we're just going to maneuver over to this property. So this is the neighborhood, and we'll be there in a moment, but I wanted to show you something that you have to be careful of when you're buying any piece of property. It's really important to look at the aerial pictures because they tell you a lot about the property. So this particular property's aerial picture showed me that the vacant lot that was coming up for sale, it had, let me see where I'm supposed to turn. I'm supposed to turn right up here on the left. The vacant lot that was coming up for sale had a house that was encroaching on its property. Like 3/4 of the house sit on the vacant lot. That's a problem because that house is too far over the property line. And which house am I talking about? I'm talking about this house right here. That house actually sits too far over the property line. So as you can see, from the front door, right there, all the way to the left to the railroad tracks, the land underneath that house, from the front door all the way over to the railroad tracks, down there where you can see a gentleman cutting the grass, is actually on somebody else's property. So this particular property went up for sale about 1.5 years ago with the same issue, which is why I did not bid on it. But whoever ended up buying it at the sale, they showed up at the auction this morning to buy the other lot next door because they don't have a choice. They have to buy that lot because half of their house is sitting on this vacant lot. So instead of this vacant lot being selling for about $10,000 or $15,000, $5,000, a much less expensive price than what it sold at today, that particular buyer had no choice but to pay a whole lot more for this vacant lot that sits next to a railroad track because their house is sitting beyond the property line. So it's really important that you look at these aerials, and I'll show you on the aerial how the property is sitting over the line. And they're actually out here cutting the grass now. That's probably, to be honest with you, this is probably the city that sent somebody out to cut the grass. The person has had a contract to cut it for many years because this lot has just been sitting here neglected. But it sold today at the auction, but I bet you they will be billing the county for it, and whoever the owner is going to have to negotiate on the price of the liens, because this property the vacant lot does have liens on it. There used to be 2 houses on this property back in 2017, and at this point those houses were demolished back then, and so more than likely the city demolished them, and they're going to want to get reimbursed for the cost of the demolition, and they've been more than likely charging per day fines for the landscaping, for cutting the grass. So instead of us hiring somebody to maybe cut this grass for like $45, $50, the city pays $200, $250 sometimes for these contractors to go maintain these properties. They're picking up trash, they're cutting the grass, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. And you see that he's all the way over there too as well. So he may or may not be the one contracted by the city. He could be the person that bought the lot that decided to go ahead and have it cut. I don't know. But just a word of caution. Always look at the aerial pictures, whether it is a house or vacant land, and it'll show you the property lines. And if you look at the satellite aerial version of it, you can see where the house sits in relation to the property line. And that house, it is well over the property line by sitting where it is right now. So instead of paying, back to how much he paid for this lot, instead of paying $5,000, $10,000 for this lot, $15,000, he paid over $37,000 just to purchase this lot because it was 37,000 and change. It was like 37,900, 800, 500, something like that. But they paid more because they really needed it. So that was a motivated buyer. You never want to be a motivated buyer. You want to work with motivated sellers because they'll give you a good deal. But when you're a motivated buyer, you have no choice. So that was the way that he is rectifying the problems by buying this vacant lot next door. Could he have negotiated with the property owners ahead of time, the people that own this lot, and gotten them to sell it to him at a better price? Yes, but maybe that wasn't an option. Maybe the person that owns the property has passed away, or maybe their family members are hard to reach. We don't know. We don't know what the issue is. Hello. I've been talking, you haven't been seeing me. We don't know what the issue might be. So it could be that maybe the owners are not willing to negotiate with them. Maybe the owners, they can't get in touch with them, whatever the issue may be. Or maybe the owners want too much money for the property. Well, now that it's sold for 37, you never know. That probably would have been a better deal to negotiate if the owners were looking for less than the $37,000. During the bidding process today, the person that owned the house next door was trying to shake off the other bidders by telling them there's over $100,000 in code enforcement liens. There's over $100,000 in liens, he said. They didn't say code enforcement, but over $100,000 in liens, trying to discourage people from bidding during the sale, but they still continued bidding. So sometimes, saying things like that will work if it's a newbie, but if it's investors that have purchased properties before and dealt with code enforcement, that's not going to discourage them. And it didn't discourage the people that were bidding this morning. They stayed on it. And then finally, towards the end, they were like, okay, you go ahead, you take it. Because obviously the gentleman wanted it badly. And so when he won the auction, after he stood up, he said, thank you so much, because I own the property next door and it's partly on this lot, so I had to buy this one. So that confirmed that that was the person next door. Usually if you're bidding at the sale and it's someone that owns the property or a neighbor, they're always willing to pay a lot more than anybody else. So at that point, there's no point in bidding. But that house over there, I'm sure it needs a lot of work. It looks like it needs a lot of work. You can see some of the boards showing there. But if you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe and like the video if you want me to make more content like this. I enjoy doing them, but sometimes it just takes up a lot of my time and I'm kind of busy. But go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to hit that 20,000 mark for my 20th anniversary. This year's my 20th anniversary in real estate. So I would love to hit the 20,000 mark in subscribers this year. So tell me what other content you want me to make more videos of, and let me know what you think about this purchase right here. It's a nice little corner lot. At some point, what they can do is probably see if they can get another house over here, but the lot is much smaller because that house is sitting on a portion of the lot. All right. Okay. Well, happy investing. Bye-bye.